Very good. Well, let's move on then to the next issue that comes to mind when we're talking about volunteers in churches, and that's the whole subject of discrimination laws. You know, there are many, many discrimination laws at the federal, state, and sometimes at the local level, municipal level, that churches may or may not be subject to, depending on a range of conditions. But many churches are subject to at least some of these discrimination laws that prohibit various types of discrimination in any kind of employment decision. Well, the important thing to point out is that these laws are directed at the employment relationship and generally do not apply to volunteers that are uncompensated. Now, the test for an employee is broad, but as long as you're not paying that person anything in terms of cash, wages, or in-kind benefits such as food or lodging, that person is generally not considered an employee and is a volunteer. So what that means is these discrimination laws may not apply. And of course, that'll depend on the specific language of each law involved. But for example, if you have an opening for a youth worker in your church high school group, a volunteer position, and you have a 90-year-old woman apply for that job, some churches might say, you're too old for that job. Well, is that age discrimination? Absolutely. Now, you can not hire somebody as an employee if you're subject to an age discrimination law based on their inability to perform the essential functions of the job. But just to have an absolute rule that you're too old to work with our youth, that is likely not going to violate an age discrimination law to the extent that person is not an employee. So that's an important clarification to make.